Oh my God.
Hi, Tanya. Sorry, buddy. Hello there.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm all right. Get my numbers together here.
It's a chilly, rainy day here in New York today.
It's chilly and beautifully clear here.
Oh, that's nice.
Absolutely beautiful. It was beautiful yesterday, beautiful today.
Well, you need it because you've been. We must be getting some of this rain, I guess, that you were having.
We got huge amounts of rain, and there was a lot of flooding, and it was quite intense. And now, not so much. Now it's gorgeous. Now it's like fall here. I mean, it is just beautiful. And I want to look at my numbers here. Trying to find which notebook I'm keeping stuff in. I have like 3 notebooks here. So I gotta make sure it's like, okay, this one is Business Bliss.
Put it on the cover or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Today's 9/10. Good.
Yes, tomorrow is 9/11.
I have a Mom's Demand Action meeting today. That's what I have to do tonight. Mom's Demand Action for Gun Sense. It's really good. Who else is coming today?
Lucy and Francesca and Kay.
Oh, good.
We're still a little early. I think, right? We're still a little early.
I'm looking at the questions that you sent.
Mm-hmm. It's our first one, so.
Yeah. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 are the number of leads, number of transactions, average sale, profit margins. I'm hoping I can put that together. Part of me gets nervous because I'm trying to combine, chiropractic patients coming into the office and also the energy people. But right now is probably a good time to start this because I have 0 energy clients. I have one who has signed up for the Money Shadows program at the end of September, but she hasn't paid for it yet. So I'm just waiting for her to send me, I have all her information. I'm just waiting for her to send me the okay, you can put it through texts. And then I really want to have like at least 8 people in that, if not 10. And I was thinking about it when I was this morning. Can I what would put me at the space that I want to be? And it's three individual one-on-one clients every month.
3 new ones?
Doesn't matter if it's 3 new ones, but if I have them sign up for 3 to 6 months, then they're paying me each month, and then they can, that would be enough to help me, and any more than that would be gravy. And if I'm doing 3 individual calls a week, and then I have 8 people in the group sections, then I do 3 calls for each person in the group, and I can space those out. So I could end up having like 3 plus 8, like 8 individual calls a week. So it would only be like, that could stagger the week. So I could have 7 calls in a week that are individual. That's so doable.
Right. It's nothing.
It's really great because I could like have, depending on the timing of it, I could put everybody on a couple of days, split it between those, and then the rest of the time would be preparing for the next thing, doing the marketing for that and that, everything. The other thing I wanted to ask you, Lee, personally is, do you want me to send you the link for the page for people to apply for Money Shadows, and then whoever comes from you, you can get a affiliate fee, affiliate payment.
Right, yeah, because I will get that. I mean, I'm in the process of doing that, and well, send it to me because it is important. And for me, I would almost I don't know. I feel like there's a way that it can.
Yeah, because then if I can cross market from what you have onto my group, then that would be great. At this point, all I have people do is, where did you hear about me? And then they can fill in the person's name. It's from a friend. And then I say, okay, who was your friend? And they say, Lee. Because I'm going to talk to them anyway. The application process is me talking to them to find out if they're a good fit for it, and to do an intuitive energy scan with them. So we're building a rapport right away, and then I can just say, okay, so who was it that, oh, I don't know, I got it in an email. Well, do you know where the email came from? That kind of thing.
All right, very good, very good.
I'm going to go in and put
I'm going to tell you on a very personal note regarding Kartra.
Even though that you're recording. Okay.
I am recording. That's right. What are you going to do? Hello, Francesco.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, a lot better than I was this time last week.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So if you want to share, you can. I just want to say one thing to Tanya, because we're just going. So Tanya, let me tell you something. The best thing that I ever did, I broke down and I got a Kartra concierge hour.
Did you?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. For $159, I mean, they can do in less than an hour that will take me a week.
Yeah, right.
The best $159 I have ever invested in my life.
Good. Well, good. That's great. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just something to keep in mind when you can.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
So lovely. How are you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great, thank you. I had rest.
Good. You had rest. Wow. Woohoo!
Yeah. I did nothing but read and watch films. And
that's lovely. That's fantastic. Yeah. It's wonderful.
I went to see my mum on Friday and stayed over, and then drove home Friday morning. I went back to my caravan, and I just stayed there until this morning.
That's nice. That's your little retreat palace.
Yes, it's my sanctuary as long as there's not a storm outside. So it's not. But there wasn't. It was just wonderful. It rained and it blew, but it didn't blow too much.
Didn't blow the house down.
No, exactly. It didn't even threaten, and it was great. And I really needed it. And this next half of the month is pretty full on, and October is pretty full on, and I just need to really, I think that I span that part of the time I'm extrovert, but part of the time I'm introvert, and I need to honor the fact that there is a distinctly introvert part to me, and so I can't be around people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, and even probably co-housing has been able to, help you get more in alignment and more in touch with what that really is like.
Yes. I mean, I've always known it, but I think that normally I deal with it by being on my own.
Right. Yeah.
and here, when I'm at Javon's, it's completely the opposite. Particularly when people come and see us. So we had Vanessa, we had Kay, and we had Debs, and Karen, and so we've had this have been amazing, absolutely amazing meeting everybody. But I just have to remember that after that, I need to go and hide away for a couple of days.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it does. Yeah. It's a balance. And as you know, you're still in the baby steps of this, and then in the beginning of this whole thing. And in the beginning, it's finding its happy place. Finding its happy place. But you also this is the first 3 years of any endeavor of a business. You're gonna work your little chickas off. So it's just making it joyful. When you're doing it in joy, it's a lot. It just, when it's flowing versus doing. So, and that's why we're here, because this is a key part, is understanding these numbers and embracing them, because then your business can really flow. It can really flow. So it's all good. So it's 11:02. I will give 1 more minute, and then we're just going to begin, because it's honoring our time together as well.
Well, I'll just quickly tell you. Have you both seen the beautiful portrait that Lucy did of Kahuna, my cat?
Yes.
Mm.
And have you seen it, Tanya?
Yeah, I have.
Well, I finally took it to the framers today.
Oh, wonderful.
So within the next fortnight, next 2 weeks, I will have that back framed, and it's going to go on my.
Wonderful.
So marvelous.
That's great.
Amazing. It's so big. Like, I thought that it would be maybe life size. No, I think it's about tiger size.
Wow.
There you go. It's embracing the Kahuna, the cat, and the lion.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait. So you got to take a picture of it on the wall when you get it up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Oh, I can't wait to see.
So exciting.
She does some beautiful work. I put her in my newsletter that I just sent out. I put a blurb, and there's a picture. She sent me a couple of pictures of paintings. I said I want a flower one and an animal one, and then a picture of her, and that described what she's up to and what she's doing. And I think it's really good, and it's posted on my quantum healing page. So if you go take a look at it.
Well, I got the newsletter, so I'll also read it. So
yes, so make sure you take a look. There's a beautiful picture of her there.
Ladies, this is my favorite cup.
Yeah, I like that too.
It was given to me by one of my clients, and it is a really way to begin our session. Particularly in light of the new moon, which is all about manifesting, and this full moon, this new moon numerologically wise, whatever that word is, you've got lots of 9s and you've got lots of 1s, and 9 is about completion. It's not ending. It's more about it's ending, but completion. So with taking in, it takes in all the other numbers, right? It takes in all the learning, and everything goes through 1 through 8. It comes into this beautiful complete, which is why if you look at the shape of the 9, it's like a big head, because everything's in the head. And it's also about the 1s, and we have like double 1s, which is like the portal of going through the portal and walking through that gateway as well. So, and that's of course about creation and new beginnings. And it's just, that's why I love all this stuff, because you can't make this shit up, right? And it's a beautiful, beautiful time, and it's about harnessing our true authenticity, our radical authenticity, and using that as we move forward. So it's a great time to be doing this, particularly talking about numbers, since the numbers are all really cool right now. Right, and we're all out of all of our retrogrades with all these planets are doing all these wonky things all this year. We're in like full speed ahead, baby. Full speed ahead.
Brilliant. Since when?
Well, the full moon, the new moon, we're still in the energy. Was yesterday. It was yesterday evening in the UK, and it was yesterday afternoon here, and 11. It's like 2 o'clock here, so 7 o'clock in the UK PM, and then 11 o'clock in the morning in the UK. So we're still in that magic. We're still in that magic. So it's time to, as we embrace the magic of the new moon, we can embrace the magic of our magical numbers and be honoring our numbers and honoring God, and as well as ourselves This is really about us. Last week when we're doing the reflection, I mean, yes, it's about us, and yes, it's always about honoring him, but that really was more about you serving. That was, you know, when we do week 1, that's when we do that. That's really about the serving. And this part is how we're able to serve consistently and growing and easily and fluidly and flowing and joyfully. So we're going to, and again, we're going to go further. We're still doing baby steps here because we're just wanting everybody to, I want you to first make peace with your numbers, and then maybe soon you'll embrace them. And then who knows what goes after that. All right, so Francesca, I'll start with you. How did you feel when you were, well, you had K, so you like kaboomed in. So this is a really good one for you, right?
Well, it was different because Kay helps me and does the silver 10 numbers, but
right.
And at the end of the year, she does my
personal.
Accounts.
So how did
help me?
No, yeah. But having gone through those numbers for the silver 10, that was huge. That was
it was brilliant. I mean, you know, she'd done most of it already.
Right.
But what was so fantastic was, and I wrote this down in answer to one of the questions, is that what I was really, really happy about was that we are doing better in this second year than the first, even though the Silver Grove membership is closed for the time being, and we didn't have a launch summit. So 2 things that really helped get the financials off the ground in the first year are not present in the second year, but we will exceed the first year. Not necessarily by a lot, but the fact that we are at all.
Right.
I didn't know that. I didn't think that that would be the case.
There's no stop in momentum.
So that made me very happy to see that actually, even though I'm earning less from the Silver 10 than I was last year, so to me it looks like there's less coming in, but it's not the case.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So how did you feel? So the first question, Francesca, really is, I want you reflecting on observing and looking and starting to work with these beautiful numbers. How did you feel? I mean, how did you feel going through that process?
I felt great. It was really easy. I mean, if I go to my own numbers,
yeah,
I only had to look through PayPal, and you know, so there's not many transactions. It's a very simple, you know, transactional thing that goes on at the moment. And it was just really nice to know exactly where I was. It was like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's not freaking me out. You know, it's not hard to work out. And to see, I'd only made about £50 more, I think, in August compared to July. But at least it is heading in the right direction. So yeah, so I felt like, you know, that it was good having done that. I felt good having done that.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, now, and Tanya, how about you?
Looking at my numbers, it's depressing. I mean, just the feeling of going into it is like trepidatious. I just am like, okay, what's the reality? The reality is that I'm in the hole, and I got my business checking account was hacked. I got money taken out, then bank fees because of stuff that came in after it was overdrawn. I mean, it's just like, I feel like I'm starting below zero and I need to get up to 5,000. And it's like, well, I feel like I have a lot of things working against they are, except that it's all coming from me. So I want to make sure that I'm getting the right frame of mind too, because it's really not, it's not good. It's not healthy. It's not a healthy business. And, you know, what I could say is like, you know, being in the hole like this is not fun. I'm not having business bliss yet.
Well, it takes time. So but you know, and acknowledging that, number one, we need to acknowledge where we're at. We need to deal with it and work through it. We need to, you know, because you are where you're at, right? And if we try to be making, you know, sunshine and lollipops when we're not feeling that way, you can't do that.
Right. Yeah, I've had places that I've worked with before saying, "Oh, you're doing great," and I'm like, "I can't pay my rent. How is that doing great?" So I don't want to.
You know what? But if there's something that you can keep in mind, it's number one, it's information. right?
Yeah.
It's information, and it's fluid, and it could change and things like that. But most importantly, when you're reflecting, and for Francesca too, when we're reflecting. So it's old news. It's over and it's done with. That was then.
Mm-hmm.
This is now.
Yeah.
That was then, and this is now, and where you were, and what that number is. I mean, and in general, like I say, so if it's a great place, let's keep doing what we're doing, and when it's not, then we need to say, well, what can we do now to help us move, get the momentum the way we want to go. So that's the good news is that it's old news, and I'm wondering if for you, in your case, because you already had that trepidation, because we all know in our head. I mean, we know it was someplace, but it's always a place, like Francesca, for you, it's a pleasant surprise that things like you thought, but it actually was better. But I think that, we have to we do need to give ourselves a break and forgive ourselves, because we know now what we did. When we did whatever we were doing it in that place and space that we were at, right? So if you can go, if you feel that trepidation, deal with the trepidation, do anything and everything you got to do to get out of that state, and maybe perhaps come at it as compassion. Could be compassionate, because this is a learning, and this is new, and it's a new way of doing, and be grateful that, and bring in the gratitude, if you can. Think of it, the gratitude is like, wow, I now know that. I know exactly how, where, why, what. It sucks. And that means that I'm more able to fix it. I'm more able to do something, and I'm able to at least start doing like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And your business is healing people, right? So your business is actually always healthy, because it's always serving and helping people get healthy. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be doing that a little bit
No.
more.
But think about it. So when you get down on yourself, well, then it needs work. We definitely need.
Yeah.
We're working on getting that up to where it needs to be. But when you think about it, it's true. You are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how can it be unhealthy when all you do is bring health?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's not. It's about being available, and just keep doing what I know to do. And what I know to do is, like, stay on top of it. Continually having the conversation, making sure that I'm getting stuff out there. I was talking with my coach the other day, Daniel, and I said, I'm this endless giving is like getting to me. I need to get something.
I know. We all need to do right. We're all in the same. We're actually all in that boat. All of us, right? We're all in that boat. It comes from our heart and everything else, but we're all in that boat. And that's why, next week when we do, then we're going to be talking about what are the actual steps in the way to do this, and what are the conversations that we need, and how do we need to have these conversations, and rolling conversations.
Yeah, and the one thing that we talked about was saying no to somebody, because sometimes that's so empowering. And sure enough, the next person that I talked to was not a good fit for what I do. She didn't know enough to be able to be a good fit for what I do. Like, it was all new words for her, and I need to work with people who already have some of the language. And so I was able to say, you're not really ready for this, but go here to my website, and there's a book list, and here's the book I would suggest you read, and this would help you get started. And so I was able to help her, but also say no at the same time. And it was empowering. It did feel good to be able to say, you know what, I know what my audience is. I know who I'm supposed to work with, and this is not it. And I can say no to that. And it was empowering. So I was really glad for that. I was glad for that experience, to be able to have that immediately after I talked with him about it. Now I need those fish jumping in the boat.
Well, and you've had fish jump in your boat.
Yes, I have.
And you've had them recently jumping in your boat. Yeah. So if they've jumped once, they can jump again.
The good things that I had happen this week were that one, to be able to say no, and to also have somebody sign up for Money Shadows. And then the second really great thing that happened, or third, I should say, was I found out that I can use the massage school that my son's going to, that my friend runs. I can use that on weekends for classes. So if I want to have a class, she'll take a fraction of what I charge as rent for the space. So there's a hotel across the street, there's places to eat, there's a mall. So I could have a 2-day seminar and have people stay there, and I could do that. And I could invite people to come in and do their thing, or have them show up on Zoom and, talk to the group. And I could do that now. And I didn't have that before. So I'm really excited that I have this new venue to use. And it's like really great. Really great.
So now it's just a matter of making sure that we have the right things and the right steps in place,
Exactly.
so get the right people to show up when you want them to do.
Yep.
All right. So I'm right. So I'm thinking it's the same, but the number that you paid the most particular attention to, my guess is for both of you, was the income number, right?
I paid a little bit more attention to the expenses because of all the stuff that happened with the bank and all the stuff that happened. Like, I have over $800 coming out every month that's going to coaching and program that I bought that I was like, why did I do that program? So I'm paying a little bit too much attention probably to expenses at this point.
I didn't focus on the income. I focused more on the numbers of clients and enrollment.
All right, but that does which generates the income.
Yeah.
But yes.
But it wasn't the income number.
All right, yes, but it was the number. So, and how was that number? How was the number of people who enrolled?
What do you mean, how was it? You mean, what was
it? Good? Was it, was it good? Well, you can tell us what it was, but was it good? Was it not good? Were you happy with it? Were you surprised? Were you concerned?
Well, I hadn't set myself up how much I wanted people to come in a week. I know what I want for the month. So I was a bit thrown by these questions, because it's like, well, I don't know what's happening in September. We're only, we're not even halfway through it yet.
Well, we're reflecting on August.
Well, I don't know whether I had an idea of how many people I wanted.
All right, that's fine.
So I don't know, but I guess if I reflect now, so on one course, but I think one was July, but so I had more people enrolled in both of the online courses than I expected, fee-paying people. I have been absolutely blown away by the number of people that have actually signed up. And that's phenomenally encouraging. Even though I'm living way below my means, if that's the right way around, the fact is people enrolled. It was great.
And that's the beginning. And it's the beginning. So brilliant.
Yeah.
So now that's a wonderful reflection.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at last week, so not last month. So
So the first 2 weeks of the month is so the first week we're reflecting overall on the past month, and then overall what we want for this month. And then this week we talk about how we did with our numbers in August and how we want our numbers to be in September.
Okay.
From that. And it's slowly but surely. I'm not going too fast here, because I know that, because I want, this is, just as gently playing.
I think what really impressed me is that not many of our Synergy members have much luck enrolling Silver Tent members. It's who pay, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But on my Embrace course, I've actually been surprised that I'm running it in the Silver Tent for both Synergy and the tent members. I'm running it at exactly the same fee for a good reason. It's the only one that I will run at the same fee. And I've got more people than expected. Oh, no, sorry. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, and I'm actually impressed at the number of tent members who have signed up. So that was unexpected.
So that was your highlight. All right.
One of the highlights, yeah.
Okay, well, welcome, ladies. Welcome, ladies. We're underway.
Hi, Lee. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right. We are underway, and we are where we're still in the reflecting stage of our numbers. So if you want to hop right in so that we can wrap this up so we move on to September. Lucy.
Hi.
How did you feel when you were looking at any numbers or any part of the numbers within your business over the month of August?
Well, there were no numbers to look at. So
That was easy. That was simple.
yeah, it didn't take long.
Right, okay.
Which was of course pretty disheartening and depressing and in a way funny, because if you don't laugh, you cry, kind of thing.
True. So one thing I was saying, like similar to Tanya, because she was not happy with with what it was.
Not happy.
I know. Is that it's the way to look for it for us is it's still old news, right? Because it's the past, it's over. These were made on decisions and actions we took that we didn't take, as situations and circumstances. So it's old news, so it's over and done. So if we can give ourselves because we're going through a lot and it's going to take a little while, but the more that we do this, within about 3 months, within 3 months time, we'll be picking up the pace, and you'll be happily picking up the pace. And it was still the first, still the first time that we're doing this. So congratulations for being brave and looking at them. And try to think we'll go from there. But thank you, and thank you for being honest and letting us know. Okay.
Yes.
How are you feeling about going through all your numbers? Now you had all your outsourcing. You had a lot of stuff going on in August, but so.
Yeah, I mean, how is this different to the last call when we were asked about our numbers? Because do we do that every week?
No, I mean, because it's still reflecting, but it's different. Last week we talked about the month overall, and now we're talking about the numbers that went into last week. The numbers that are reflecting that now are the outcome of what went on over the month. So we didn't talk about. We just kind of talk about what was good, what was a challenge, that sort of thing. And now, when we get further on, there'll be specific numbers we'll be talking about. But right now, since everyone's kind of just beginning to get comfortable and begin to even look at them on a consistent basis, regardless of where they are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But since you do look at your numbers, so a lot.
Yeah. But I look at the accuracy of them. I don't necessarily look at them and compare them. But I did think about creating a structure so that we could see, like have a graph of how the, the numbers go up.
I like that.
Well, in your client alter plan event, there is that capability.
Yeah.
There is that when we get to that place, when everyone's gonna be ready at their own. But yeah, I have to have it fixed a little bit, but it's a brilliant. It really is a brilliant. I mean, it becomes huge, but we don't look at the whole thing. We just look at what we're looking at when we're looking at it. But to have all the information about everything in one central place is does make it easy and simple. And a lot of it, what happens is that a lot of it populates other things as well. So when we get there.
Yeah, the time that Francesca and I have spent together when I went to Wales and had the most amazing weekend. Very mad weekend. It was wonderful. We were concentrating on the year-end accounts. So that's the time that we've spent together. I spent a lot of time correcting what my outsourced team had done wrong. And so I know last year's accounts are good, but now I've got to get this year's accounts up to date so that I'm happy with the numbers that are coming out. The other thing that we discovered is that within Facebook, the numbers of people actually in the tent and actually in Synergy, it doesn't go right back to when we started. There's only like an 18-month, or I mean, it was
something like that. July 17.
Yes. Yes, it wasn't since when we started. So, we'll just have to start where we start and go from there.
It's good coming. All right. So again, aside, what I would like you to do for going forward and for the rest of September is begin to have one number that you can look at on a consistent basis. Now, the good news is that last week when we were doing our intentions, right? Everybody, your type intention for September, you all gave me numbers, which is wonderful. And Francesca, you might have a couple of the things. So you already have your numbers of something that you would like to intend for the month. So one good thing to look at that is enrolling. So is enrolling. And I think we're going to spend a lot of time, concentration more on enrolling, because that's the key, right?
Enrolling being getting people into our programs.
Yes. I used to, it could be called a conversion rate, but we're talking about an enrollment process and the enrollment rate. So like Tanya, you said you want to do 30 intuitive scans, of which you want 8 to go into your money shadows course and 5 to become one-on-one clients, right? So which is great. So that's a great number. So now we need to know, I think for you, because you put it out to that extent, I think for you is focusing on how you're getting your 30 intuitive scans.
Right.
How are we doing this? And
today I'm going to go make offers on all the groups that I'm in for people to come in with the intention of moving forward. So it's not just I'm doing this free thing. It's actually moving forward. And I'm also going to shorten the amount of time that I'm doing the scan. So a lot of times they'll take an hour. If the person is going to really want to explore next steps, then I'll take however long it takes. But I really need to shorten that up because I need to be extremely intentional about where I'm going with it. So I want to be able to put out a call for intuitive energy scans or to apply for the Money Shadows program. Right now, I'm not really sure whether I should do that with adding that, and this is to find out if your next step is to join this program or to get one-on-one coaching. That I'm not sure yet, but I feel like I need to do it in groups. I'm having a meeting today with somebody for lunch that I'm going to be talking to, and then
you don't have to give it right now, but that's some things coming up with all the different ways that you can get these intuitive scans. Just thinking of all the different ways you can, come across having those scans, because that for you is going to be your key to, kind of like your key to all of this. So I think that would be a really good thing for you to start thinking about. And then even just every day, because there's less than 30 days. So technically, it's at this point, you'd want to be doing at least one per day, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many did I do today?
I need to do 2 a day because I'm gonna.
That's fine.
Go on vacation.
Right. So what are you going to focus? All right. You're going to intend doing 2 a day. So now you need to know what are things that you need to do to have those 2 a day. So that, I think, if that's a good thing for you to focus on, I think that'd be really helpful for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Lucy. You said that you want to sell 500 pounds worth of paintings, and you want minimum, at least that or more. Plus, there's a plus sign. Always a plus. This or more than this. I said this or more than this. So for you, kind of also too, is beginning to think about, and the number here is how many different ways can you begin to sell those paintings? And how many different ways are you looking so that you can be offering paintings? So I think that the big number I'd like everyone to start is how many different ways can you present, offer, and enrolling opportunities? And then once you begin, and you know what, this is going to be a fluid thing, because as you go through the month, you'll see that, oh, I didn't think about this way. Things are going to come up, and it just start beginning to track. I'm going to use that word track which is embrace and acknowledge, maybe it's just acknowledge the ways that you are, the ways that you can be reaching out to enroll people. And then, of course, how are you doing it? It's like, okay, so I can do, as I know you're learning Instagram and things like this, but as you're learning Instagram, okay, can I do 2 posts a day, or can I do 1 post a day? And how are you doing that? And are you keeping it? And how many posts a day do you think that you want to do over the month, and how many are you doing? Something like that. I mean, with all the different ways. And the same thing with the pension plan. The pension, is that what it is? That really cool subscription thing. That other program.
Oh, Patreon.
Close.
Yeah.
But it's like, right, so just sort of think of the ways and all the different things you can do there, and then find out what feels good and what's working, and you just kind of start looking at all the different ways. Because I think that particularly when we're not happy with the numbers that we have, we start focusing, well, now I have all these different ways that I can be presenting myself to have it open for people to welcome the opportunity. Yeah.
I also have next year's art course has gone on sale. There's a year-long art course that I teach on, and that's open for registration now. So every time somebody signs up through my affiliate link, I get £45. Woohoo!
That's okay. You get 10 a month, 10 a week.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I could get 10, that would be great. About 10 a week.
I know, but think about it. Right? So that's still another way. So what are the ways that you can offer out the link? So this is a type of thing. How many different ways can you offer out the link?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a busy week, really. Because it's a very busy, this is going to be a busy week, but I'm hoping it's a busy week in joy, because you're thinking about, oh, I've got these 7 things that I could be offering to people right now, and of these 7 things, I can offer number 3, 5 ways, or I mean, just think about how many things you are offering, how many things you are offering, not what you can offer, what you are offering right now, and then when you have the amount of things that you're offering, how many different ways can you offer the opportunity? So it is a busy week. So this is a busy week, but I think it's, if we do this in joy and we doing in the face, and everything else, I think that it will be really helpful for you. So yes, how many things are you offering now? And how many ways can you offer each one? What are the venues you can use for each one? So that's good. That's for everyone. All right. Where was I? Let's go back to the sheet here. All right. All right, Francesca. So how about you? I mean, we already talked a lot of, Lucy and Kay. So actually, Kay, we haven't heard from Kay, really. Like, reflecting on the numbers, what did you pay particular attention to in August for the numbers? You said it was really just the end of year accounts and things like that. But what about personally for your own business?
Personally, for my own business, I haven't really looked at my numbers at all. I've just been plowing through the work. I've been more working on getting my strategy for how I work with my coach. That has been. So I had another call. I hadn't had a call with her for 2 weeks. So we've changed. I do admin on Mondays and delivery on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and marketing on Friday, and that fits in with my diary commitments. So like this is an admin. So so I'm getting much more clear about how I'm going to structure my time.
Okay.
And I meet with my new outsourcer in the morning.
Well, that's good. And time is a number. And time is a number.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And then looking at my numbers, like new business, I got three leads at the networking event I went to on Friday. So people approached me and said, I want to work with you. So
awesome. So those are good. Then just how do they work through your process, and how they how they work through your flow, through your client enrollment flow, and how they go through that, and you know, the different things you say, and how of them who say they want to, how many sign the check or hand you the credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so for the rest of for September, what is the number one number that you need to focus on? And aside from the numbers that you gave me, the different ways, I think, I'm not even going to see that. What I want you all to do, I'm going to tell you what I want you to do for the rest of this month, is really that's it. Just focus on the numbers of things you're offering. It's services, programs, courses, retreats, whatever it is that you're offering that people can enroll in and pay you money. So these are for paid things. How many you're offering, and how many different ways you can offer each one. Now, of course, you know, a lot can cross over, and that's okay. How you're going to be offering them out. And then how are you going to watch and track and so you can understand how, so you can get some really good understanding about not only, and it's not the program or product itself, right? I mean, that's fine. It's the enrollment process. It's beginning to like the enrollment process. It's like, so what can you learn about how you're offering it, what's working and what's not?
I think my biggest challenge with the Silver Tent is that there doesn't appear to be any of that. I cannot see how I discover what excites certain people to decide to join up, because so many of them are women who've been in the background.
Right. Oh yeah. Right.
And so I can't see my way into that at all.
But
Not that I haven't spent much time trying, because I'm spending more of my focus on my own courses for this thing. But it is when you ask what challenge in your message, it was like, I can't see it. I don't know even where to start with everybody's journey. It seems to be completely different. It seems to be totally random and ad hoc.
So, but I think that as more, but right, and it could be because you have 6,000 people and however they come into it, that is like, particularly in the tent, you know, and even in Synergy too, because right there, there's people who come in and they join Synergy, whatever level they join, and then they participate or they don't. But that is like human nature. So I think that for you, Francesca, is just, well, I want to use the word trends, because kind of see, like, what are the conversations, you know, what are the, seems to be the most, you know, you've got a lot of them who talk about they're going through a bad time.
But that doesn't appear to be, it doesn't appear to be obviously related to whether they choose to sign up and pay for membership.
That one's right.
So many of them haven't contributed, haven't obviously participated at all.
That's what I'm saying. The ones who have paid don't even pay. It's like when you join a gym and then you don't go.
Yeah.
I mean, that is human nature, right? So I think for that is going to be, it should tell you, some of the analytics should be able to tell you at least, you know, if your engagement is up or down.
Well, we have got engagement in the tent.
Yeah.
We've got numbers on Facebook. We can see what the engagement's like.
Right. So
maybe if we can track the engagement and see whether that actually leads to people joining. Just to see whether there's any correlation.
Just see something, so we could just kind of just have an idea. And of course, it's going to be different, and because there's so many people, and it's a different thing. But it's just to get the idea, and then it's just going to be trying to work on different ways to build strategy. Of course, there's going to be those who just are there, who just are.
Maybe we could speak to or send a survey out to. We could put a survey in Synergy to see why people join Synergy.
I might put it in the tent, actually, Kay.
Yeah.
I think I might do a poll.
Right.
I think I might do a poll about why people signed up. Thank you.
Right. A poll is really good. And then also sometimes within groups, it's good to have like some days is maybe a focus where people, I mean, that's a good thing. There's all sorts of ways to build and increase engagement in groups.
The engagement is high.
Yeah.
But it's now higher. It's now really high in synergy and dropping away more in the tent. Not massively. I mean, we still have nearly 40,000 engagements every single month. You know? So
Right.
phenomenally engaging. But relative to how many members we have, massive in synergy. And so what I think is happening is that more of the prolific posters and commenters are focusing more on synergy now. It's got really sizzling in there. So they're doing more in there, and they've brought some of their attention away from the tent. So now I ramp up my questions and my posts, and I can see that increasing the engagement.
But yeah,
we do some inquiry into what topics people are interested in,
right.
Whether it's, you know, like social or personal or business, and find out a little bit more about what people are engaged in the tent and what they're looking for.
Right. And I would do like a poll of the week.
Yeah.
I would do a poll of the week.
Yeah. And you know, I don't mind doing this, Francesca, inside that I'm the numbers lady, you know.
Yeah.
So that would sort of, it would forward the action for anybody in business to engage with their communities more, which could then they could see that there might be a benefit in joining Synergy to get more time with me or whatever.
Nice.
As your numbers manager.
I like that. By the way, I just have to share, everybody, just 20 seconds. Kay Westmoreland has just set up the Silver Tent Adventure Club. And is running her first adventure soon.
Yeah. I've organised for up to 6 women to go flying for the first time.
Oh, fun.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yes.
So we have to do really well so she can come and do it in America and around Europe. And
jumping out of an airplane, still on my list.
Oh, you've so got to do that. It is incredible. I've done that.
Yeah, I know. I have
your own wings.
Well, all right. So again, so that's it. So just, I guess, like so again, for your own business, you have the tent and you have everything else, and I think the poll is a weekly poll is a really good thing to do. And then just kind of think of different things. Just that will help with that. And if you just work with the fact that you have, you know, which is fine. I mean, when you think about it, if the goal, if the intention is to have 200 Silver Synergy and 6,000 on in the tent, then we can just kind of work with an enrollment rate, which I know I can do this in my head, but I'm not. Which is the simple one. Yeah, which is like 30. So it's a 30%. It's like, so that's pretty good actually. If you have 6,000 in the tent, you have 200. That's 30%.
No, 3%.
6,000.
2,000 would be 30%.
Oh yeah. That's 3%, which is pretty good because it's not a lot that you can do, but that's good.
I'd love to see it be 10%, just because that seems like a really nice round number. Or actually, make it 9%.
9%.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So we're probably running. Are you running currently around 3? Or is it?
Well, it certainly was over the year. I don't know what it is now.
All right. Okay. So that's wonderful, right? I mean, that's pretty good because a lot of that is very passive. That's passive. I mean, if you send, that's higher than if you just send out a blanket letter.
Well, I sent a newsletter out the other day, and I had really fantastic feedback about that. I love Dorothy that said this was a triumph of a newsletter. It was so filled with it, you know, like tons of stuff. It didn't make any difference. Nobody enrolled.
Well, I know, but these are just. Right, but still, it's just if we're just focusing like 3%. So what is 3%? Or if it goes to 5%, I mean, if you go to 6%, you're doubled.
Yeah, but it didn't bring in even one. You know, I create a triumphant newsletter that goes out to over 1,200 people, and not one person signs up from it. It's a bit disappointing.
Did you send it just once, or did you send it to people who didn't open it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't deal with it. Vanessa does. No, I should think it went once, and I don't know the open rate yet.
Yeah, so that's the way you can get more. That's one way with newsletters and emails like that. That's the way that you can get more engagement, is just, you know, resending it to people who didn't open up and things like that. Just playing with headlines, and you really, if you know what the open rate is, that's going to make a difference.
I'll find that out in the next couple of days.
All right, yeah. All right, so then we can kind of work on that as well. All righty. So, think about your services and think about the intentions that you have for September. Think about the ways you're offering them, and then start observing and paying attention to what you're doing on a daily basis to make that a reality in all your different areas. Is everybody got that? Mm-hmm. Any questions? Questions? No? Okay. All right then. So, as we're wrapping up here, what's one thing you're taking away from our call today?
I had a word a moment ago that's gone completely out of my head.
You may come back.
Yeah.
You could put it in the Facebook message at 3 o'clock in the morning your time. All right. So, what's one thing you're taking away that's going to help you in your business? Tanya? Oh, sorry. Did you remember it?
I don't know, but focus will do. Sorry, Tanya.
Okay, that's fine. Tanya?
Just to remember that this is the beginning of something, and so I'm going to be going up. And I'm starting at low, and I'm going up. So I just want to keep that in mind, that I'm heading up.
Good. That's excellent. Lucy?
Yeah, ditto what Francesca and Tanya said. Yeah, they said that the daily diligence on thinking up of new ways and creative ways to get my stuff out there and in front of people. Yeah.
And Kay?
Yeah, that's the same for me, actually, because I don't really go out looking for business and for myself. And it's like, I've joined this networking group, and now I need to work it. I need to make that investment pay off. So it's making sure that I do my one-to-ones, and I get out there and talk to everybody in the group, and, you know, find out what they're doing and tell them what I'm doing and help them, and then they will refer me. So it's taking those actions.
Right, and in a daily, and it's just doing something simple every day, because every time you do that, I mean, yes, it's diligence, and it begins like a discipline and kind of that thing. However, if you can take that moment, is that this is how I'm honoring my clients, I'm honoring the world by focusing and doing something to serve the world. I'm honoring God by sharing my gifts, and I'm honoring and empowering myself to be the brilliant light and beacon of what I'm supposed to be doing here on this planet. So if you say, how can you honor, what are those couple of things that you can do right now, even if it's just one thing that you can do right now that will help you honor yourself, honor your business, honor God, and honor your clients by being able to having the opportunity for more people to join you. Great. Well, good. And I'll be doing the same thing like I did last week. I'll upload it to YouTube, and I'll put the link there. And eventually, when this thing becomes a real a real thing. I mean, this is a real thing, but when it becomes structured, when it becomes a more, well, it becomes a technologically structured. There'll be a portal where all of this is, everybody can access it. So, but we're getting there. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks,
And
Lee.
next week, I'm going to put the link for my scheduler. So next week, you hop on my schedule. This is your it's your one-on-one time.
And Kay and I do the same thing we did last time. One
Exactly.
following the other.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye. Bye, everyone.